it's Em and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a brand new speed build. Today I am building a tiny home. I was going to say I technically don't know if this counts as a tiny home. It does. It is within the tiny home requirements. So the tiny living pack gives you a rough idea of what amount of tiles you need for it to class as a tiny home. So there's 3 different stages. There is a tiny home, a micro home, and a small home. And that was totally in the wrong order. So a micro home requires 32 tiles or less, a tiny home 64 tiles or less, or a small home is 100 tiles or less. So this actually does count as a tiny home. Surprisingly, it's actually quite spacious considering it's a tiny home, and the bedroom is huge, but hey ho. I can't remember if I used 63 or 64 tiles because I kept playing around with it, so I think it's 63, but I'm not sure. Either way, it still comes into the tiny home requirements, so I'm rolling with it. So this build was basically a bit of a gamble because I don't really ever do modern houses, and I just thought for my first kind of modern build I would go small so that I could play around with it a little bit easier and it wouldn't take me as long to figure out what I was doing, even though it took me ages. And you can see here I'm faffing around with the roof, and that's because I had no idea what I was doing. I don't do modern houses or roofing or anything, so this was all a bit of an experiment, and I'm actually really happy with the way it turned out. I think I did a pretty good job considering this was my first time, if I do say so myself, but hey ho, there we go. I was kind of inspired to do a bit of like a bachelor pad just because I feel like the colour scheme ended up being kind of more like bachelor-esque, if that makes sense. I used a lot of like darker colours, and I knew what sort of bed I wanted for the modern look, and you will see that in the build. And I did kind of like play through the other ones and I was like, no, I'm sticking with this. So I used the bed that is slightly more modern. It's got like the blue duvet cover and it looks like a leather kind of back, but it's all black at the back and the blue duvet. And I thought that would be perfect in this build, so that was kind of what I was working off of. So basically this entire build came from a bed. So yeah, that's a bit random, but hey ho. The landscaping on the outside kind of gets a bit messy because I thought he's not going to be there for landscaping. He doesn't care. That's kind of what I was picturing. So yeah, it is more minimal landscaping this time, which pleases me because if you've seen my other videos and heard me talking in those, you'll know that landscaping is a bit of a bugbear of mine. I love when it's finished. I just hate doing it because it takes me hours. So this was actually quite easy. I did actually end up putting a massive pool in the back garden, which you will see. I say massive, it's not like huge. There wasn't enough room for a massive one, but I worked with what I could in the back garden space. There you go, that's me putting it in now. And I actually really liked it. I really like the thought that he can kind of have like pool parties there, and it's more of like the hangout spot really, even though it's a tiny home. I feel like out of his friends, he might just be the one to have like a nicer house and not have any kids and just kind of live life, you know? I was trying to find gates that matched the fence that I put around it, but that was the closest I could get. There's no gates to go with that fence. That fence comes from City Living. I'm assuming it's for an apartment or something, but no, that just wasn't possible. I just couldn't find one that matched properly, so I ended up just using that one. I can't remember where that one was from. I feel like it was from Get Together, but I'm not too sure. I could be wrong. Anyway, so about this lot, I built it in Newcrest on a 20 by 15 lot in the I think it's called Bridgeview little street, if that's what we're calling it in The Sims. And like I say, it is a tiny home. It's literally just a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom house. The lot traits for this place are chef's kitchen, fast internet, and party place, because like I say, kind of picturing a bit of a bachelor. He hosts a lot for his friends and stuff like that and has pool parties and things like that. So yeah, that was kind of my thought process on that. I really liked that pizza little float that I put in the pool. I don't know why, I've just never used it in a build, and I thought, you know what, this is the perfect time to use it, so why not? Also, I hope you're proud of me because I feel like I'm slowly getting better at doing the outside and then moving to the inside rather than switching between the two. At least I hope I did more in this build than I did with the last one. She says that she just did some inside stuff and then switched to the outside. Anyway, I have tried. Anyway, that is the point of that. So I was going for a really like sleek modern look, a lot of like black, grey and white, just kind of grayscale tones, because I figured that would sort of be his colour scheme. I feel like he is a bit of a minimalist and doesn't really care too much about what goes in his house, but he likes to add a bit of a personal touch here and there. So there are plants and things that go in here and like a speaker and stuff, but nothing overly clutter-ish. That made no sense. Nothing that clutters it up too much. I say that, I was trying to add some decor in and I put a clock on the wall in between the window and the door where there's that little gap for the front. And for some reason, when I play tested it, my sim couldn't use the oven because there was a clock there. And I thought it was something to do with the poster layout. So I put a couple of posters above the oven, which you'll see me do in a little bit. But for some reason, that clock was the reason that she couldn't get to the oven, and I have absolutely no idea why, because it was nowhere near it. So that was random, but that is why I playtest builds, because weird stuff like that happens and it's the only way to find out whether or not your sim can use it. So yeah, if you do ever decide to download any of my houses from the gallery, I do use move objects to make sure that cheat is on. If you aren't aware of what that cheat is, you literally press Ctrl Shift and C on your keyboard. It opens up a white bar at the top, which is the cheat code bar, and then you type in bb.moveobjects and it turns it on, and then you download my house and everything should roughly be in the right place. So yeah. Joys. I don't know what happened to the clock, but it was in the way, so that has now gone. So if you do download this house, it won't be there and everything should work because I always play test. If you do want to download this house, then search on the gallery for Hey It's M286, and that is the same as all of my social media profiles and my main YouTube channel. If you didn't know, this is actually my second channel. I have another YouTube channel where I do like lifestyle vlogs and things like that, and I upload on there every Monday and Friday, so actually a little bit more than this channel. I'm sorry, I do love this channel as well, but yeah, I have a lot of content over there. So if you do want to head over to that, it is linked in the description as always. And yeah, if you want to download this house, it is just Hey It's M286 on the Sims gallery. Anyway, we have reached the end of this video, so if you did enjoy it, please give it a big thumbs up, comment down below letting me know what builds you'd like to see in the future, do subscribe if you want to see more from me, and hit the notification bell to get notified every time I post. I post new videos every Friday, just in case you don't want to do that. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye!